Alright, here's a quick teaser, I guess you could say, of probably what I'll end up making into a tutorial series eventually when I have the time, uh, on branching versus not branching. So without it, you can see the frame rate's holding very, very consistently at about 127 milliseconds per frame. This laptop's really, really terrible at handling 1080p on like higher epic settings, but uh, so then with branching on, when I switch over, you'll see that the frame rate fluctuates monstrously. I mean, you can see the graph just spiking and then dropping and then spiking and dropping over and over again. And the two have absolutely identical materials to each other than a few very, very minor changes to allow for the branching versus not having the branching. And most of that has to do with the complex shader on the red effect there, which is kind of like a dot product effect. But other than that, I mean, that effect is just, I think it's a blur effect that's built in, like I want to say it's radial blur or something. I didn't really add a blur, it just has a lot of math to it. Um, so I'll switch back and you'll see again, it'll hold pretty much the exact same frame rate the entire time, and that's because even when the effect's not going, it's still rendering it in the background. It's still doing all of the math for every potential pixel and whatnot, so it doesn't fluctuate. It's not branching. And over here, it starts branching again. So it's a really simple setup here. Like I said, I just have two identical copies over here, and that's that. So I'm not really going to get into the materials right now, but because there's a lot to kind of explain. But anyways, they're not too simple, or they're not too difficult to make, but there's a lot to it, and I'm trying to annotate it and all so that I can eventually release it alongside, and then people will have access to that as well to kind of give them not necessarily a template, but just a guide on what you can and can't do. But that's going to be all for this video, so see you soon.